In this video, we're unlocking Sova's full potential through 8 powerful tips to solo carry your way to victory. Many great Sova players like NRG's Crashies and Team Liquid's Leo all have one thing in common, and that is that they love to use the Phantom. The Phantom is a key part of any Sova player's arsenal, as unlike the Vandal, it is much better at spraying through smokes as enemies cannot see your tracers, unlike with the Vandal. This means that you'll be able to toss an arrow behind an enemy's smoke and simply spam enemies as they light up on your screen. It's a great way to use enemy smokes against them, and usually serves as a good reminder that smokes aren't walls. You can take this to the next level, however. If you notice a teammate stuck in or behind an enemy's smoke, you can employ this same strategy, but instead go for the 2-for-1. Arrow above the smoke your teammate is in, and you and him both will have the chance of your lifetimes to pick up free kills. If you time this right, it can easily win you rounds. Just make sure your solo queue friend is ready to capitalize by letting him know a couple seconds in advance. On the other hand, Sova's arrow also provides you with the opportunity to detect foes behind walls, so that you can capitalize off high penetration firearms, such as the Odin, Ares, Guardian, or even Sheriff to eliminate them directly. Do this right, and soon enough enemies will be typing essays in text chat on how cringe you may or may not be. But hey, at least you'll be winning. Be careful though, if you do this wrong, by being super predictable and going for the same play in the same spot over and over and over again, even your average insta-lock jet can figure out that if you can hide from the dart and then spam the common spots Sovas like to do this from, they can get you right back. So that brings us to the next point. As you know by now, Sova's dart when used right is extremely powerful, leading to free kills, or at the very least valuable information. But nothing is stopping you from throwing a terrible dart and getting zero value either. This may surprise you, but there's more to Sova than watching a lineup video and memorizing a couple for each map. The biggest thing to nail when using your dart really comes down to timing. Imagine you're executing on Haven. For instance, you could fire an arrow like this. Hop onto the concrete box outside of A main, aim at this roof point, and use a 1 bar with no bounce. It's a solid lineup, one you could use in your own games. But the timing on it is everything. Toss it with nothing else going on, and your opponents can simply turn and shoot the 1 HP dart. Not exactly devastating impact. But if you're smarter about it and combine it with an Omen flash, a jet dashing in, smokes going up, and other distractions, well, now we're talking. If your darts are not pinging enemies, they're really not getting any value. So if you notice a lack of enemies lighting up your sight hits, you gotta think about how you want to adapt. Are you mistiming your dart and shooting it early? Are you simply throwing the same dart that people have seen thousands of times so that they're pre-aiming the landing spot? What's going on? That's for you to figure out and fix. Before we continue uncovering Sova's secrets, I'd like to take a quick moment to remind you about the incredible resources available over on ProGuides.com. Boost your game with courses by top pros like Tens and Scream, and our $8 a month subscription not only grants you unlimited access to all courses and boot camps, but also gets you a discount on our personalized coaching one-on-one. Don't miss out on this opportunity to level up your Valorant skills and head over to ProGuides.com and start your journey towards dominance. As the RECON initiator, your role involves providing your team with crucial information and occasionally delaying opponents to allow reinforcements to arrive. To optimize your impact, clear communication is essential. For instance, during a C site retake, if you're positioned here in C Link and plan to drone out onto the site, inform your team with a simple call out like, "I'm droning site," before you actually end up sending it. This enables your teammates to coordinate their utility usage effectively and increase the odds of winning the round. Though I understand waiting is boring, it's super important to ensure that the space you clear with your drone is actually taken. If you don't wait, don't be surprised if even just seconds later you can re-clear everything again. On top of that, communication allows you to consider other agents' abilities as well, such as Sky's dog, which is faster than Sova's drone. If the height and visibility provided by Sova's drone aren't necessary, Sky's dog may be a more efficient choice. Always evaluate the best tool for the task, and avoid wasting valuable resources like your drone. On the defense side, Sova's arrow is instrumental in gathering information for your team as well. Think about it. If you don't know what's going on or what the enemy gamers are up to, it's hard to judge what your own best move is too. As an example, take Lotus. Aim at the black part of the tree here with a full charge and no bounce. Throwing this dart guarantees you information. If you notice players there, it can be a good idea to rotate an extra person over. But if the arrow scans without detecting anyone or remains unbroken, it indicates no enemies are in the area, allowing the C player to move over to A or B and set a trap. But there's even more to it. Not only does it help your C player make a decision, but it also colors in the rest of the map. If no one's C, nothing's happening on B, and we don't know what's going on at A. Well, we can take a pretty good guess, can't we? To maintain the element of surprise and avoid counterplay, vary the timing and location of your arrows. Opponents will quickly adapt to a predictable pattern, hiding from or breaking the arrow without being scanned. By staying one step ahead, you'll continue to provide valuable intel to your team. When it comes to attacking a Sova, knowing how, when, and where to utilize your arrows and drones is crucial for successful site execution and gathering valuable intel. While we have covered must-know Sova lineups and utility usage in our essential Sova lineups for every map guide, it's important to realize that they aren't everything. Lineups can be great tools since you'll know exactly where they'll land and what they will scan. Plus, they're safer to throw than improvised ones. And if done right, they can be even harder to spot. But at the end of the day, even average Jonas doesn't have one memorized for literally every situation, and that's for good reason. In some situations, a lineup is super important and absolutely beats an improvised one. But in others, a simple dart that you can toss in or behind a smoke you suspect an enemy might be playing around is perfectly fine. And it might even be just what you need to win that round. For the same reason, even if you have a lineup, that doesn't mean that you have to use it. This might be referred to as the God Dart on C, as it lands in an awkward spot and scans basically everything, but throw that same dart more than 3 times a half and it shouldn't even get the first ping off. Sova arrows can be more than just scouting tools though. If the time is right, they can also serve as effective distractions to engage on your enemies. By using a double bounce no charge on the floor, your arrow will quickly hit the ground, bounce back up, and do the same again. Do this around a corner and the arrow's weird trajectory will draw the enemy's attention, allowing you to peek the angle and catch them off guard for an easy elimination. They think they're all smart, instantly shooting the dart before it can scan them, but little do they know about the double bounce peek. Sova's Hunter's Fury is undoubtedly one of the most powerful ultimates in Valorant. It can counter other ultimates like Killjoy's Lockdown and even prevent the spike from being planted or diffused if used right. So to maximize its effectiveness, it's best to use it from a safe distance while of course staying within the permissible range. Being further away allows for better control and accuracy, as when you're up close, people can run out of your vision very quickly, since as you probably know, rapidly turning with the Fury out is all but easy. Oh, and remember, if people are ready for it, they can outrun and escape the ultimate, so it's best to combine it with some sort of outside distraction if you want to guarantee a kill. If there's nothing going on, it's fairly easy for your opponents to just pull out their knives and put on their running shoes. But if you also have a teammate flashing, a dart revealing, or a jet dashing on the enemy, it'll be a lot harder for them to do anything, let alone escape. Time your ults with hits, and you should be picking up kills left and right. Sova's drone can be a game changer when it comes to clearing tricky corners and providing essential intel for your team. When used effectively, it acts like an additional teammate, ready to be traded in crucial moments. Utilizing the drone is crucial for safely clearing close quarter angles and avoiding unnecessary casualties, particularly against operator players holding tight angles. One lesser known aspect of Sova's drone, however, is the ability to gain extra height by exploiting ledges and objects on the map. The drone's maximum height is determined by its position relative to the surface beneath it. So by bumping into a ledge and holding down spacebar, you can launch the drone higher, revealing more of the area. For instance, on Icebox's B main, using the white box near the start of main to boost your drone can allow it to see all of B main and a part of yellow by elevating it above the large container. Mastering this advanced drone technique requires practice, but once honed, it can significantly enhance your team's intel gathering capabilities. Oh, and lastly, this one's really important. Always make sure that you're buying a drone before anything else, at the very least as an attacking Sova. As we mentioned before, your drone is super crucial, not only for sight takes, but even more so for annoying close ranged angles, which are otherwise extremely difficult to clear. On defense, a drone for retake or mid-round info is good as well, so it's still what we'd recommend over the dart in most cases. But when you're on attack, always make sure you prioritize that drone. It doesn't matter if you know a million Shocky lineups, I really don't care. You need that drone, and so does your team. And that's it, folks. We hope you found these Sova tips helpful. So if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.